Money lessons I wish I learned before I lost 5 million rands. Yes, some days I would think, oh my days, what the heck did I go and do? Why did I take so many risks? Why? Until I asked myself, okay, is the why getting you anywhere? And then I got off my pity pot and I learned that you can create a perfect credit score. I did. Did the bank give me a lot of credit? They did. And I used it to create a side hustle, and a number of side hustles eventually led us into the demise of 5 million rand. And I used to sit and think, I wonder what life would have been like had I not gone and freaking lost all that money. So again, I don't know if you're like me, sometimes I get really mad about some of the decisions that I made. But then when I really sit down and think about it, I learned that I didn't actually know what I didn't know. But is that good enough? Welcome to my channel. My name is Genevieve Stafford Jack. On this channel, I talk about property investing, lessons that I learned that got me into property investing, money issues, and life hacks. You see, I'm a mompreneur. I needed to change my thinking from being an entrepreneur to a mompreneur when COVID hit. I had to analyze and think, how am I going to shift the things that I used to do outside, and how could I confine it online? Because I'd already had an online footprint, but I think I get ahead of myself. Today we're talking about money lessons that I really wish I knew before I lost the 5 million. You see, creating that perfect credit score, the bank gave me money. I wasn't shy eventually to use it. We had created a number of side hustles, and the chickens. It was the chicken farming, which was such an interesting journey that got us to a point where we lost so much money. But you see, the lessons in that, I needed to understand. It wasn't so much about the venture itself. It was what was happening up here. And you know, growing up in the church, I've got nothing against church. I still go to church, right? But I've got a very different relationship with God this side of life. And growing up, we just hear money is the root of all evil. Then we start hearing different biblical principles around money. And I used to sit there and think to myself, this is deep. But then when I really got to listening, I actually thought, no. In church, they were telling me it was the love of money that was the root of all evil, right? But outside of church and media would say it was money that was the root of all evil. So I decided, let me go back to my biblical principles because I really just need to get my head right. I opened the Bible and boom, there it was. It was the love of money that's the root of all evil. And then I sat for a moment and I thought, let me go down a journey to actually understand what it means. Now, today is not a biblical lesson, but I want to share with you how my money played out from my thinking. Here's it, right? So I'm sitting and I'm thinking, okay, in church, they talk about, the love that God has for us, the love that we have for each other. And as people, we love each other. We love each other, don't we? Well, we love each other conditionally, because just think about it, right? You love somebody, you've got issues in your life, you fall in love, the birds are chirping, the stars are twinkling, and you still got all your issues, but because you love somebody, you don't see those issues until the person lets you down. And then you think, I've got so many problems. Life is not fair. Darn it, I've got all of this debt. What happened? The difference was because somebody let you down in love. And then I thought, okay, so if my love is conditional, if I love money, what is my love and money got to do with each other? And then I started clapping. And then I realized, think about it. If you don't have money, what extent would you go to get it? Just think about it. And then I would think, let's make a generalization out here. There's a thief. A thief is gone to rob the bank. Why? They wanted a lot of money. They wanted to do what with a lot of money? They wanted to live the life, or they wanted to do whatever it is that they did, right? Or do. And then I thought, okay, is it the condition that's in my heart that I attach to love that makes money evil? And then later I realized that sometimes it's greed that push people to the end to do crazy stuff. Go online and you just type how to make money online. Google comes back with a gazillion different ways, and you'll start seeing people are scamming. People are in there, they're overpricing stuff and all of this, right? And that's when I started connecting. If I don't have money, what would I do to get the money? And could the thing that I do to get the money be the root of the evil? Like, guys, this is what came into my mind. And of course, yes, sometimes I go into analysis paralysis about life, but I got to learn and understand what the heck it was before I actually started dissecting some of the realizations that came when I lost all this money, because I was a hell of a angry. I was mad because this is like a mid-30 and who the heck does this? Because I was looking at the way I'd conditioned life and the way I was doing life. I had my eyes set on the goal and I was like, yeah, I am mid-30s. What the heck, man? And then I got to understanding my relationship with money. And then I got to understanding if I get my thinking right around money, maybe it would become better for me. And so I started understanding all these root causes. And guess what I did? I went back to the Bible because, think about it. How many people just use scripture just in jail because they want to serve their stuff, whether the people are in or outside of church or in and outside of any religious institution? Anyway, that's my opinion. What's yours? I wonder what's yours. So if people can be self-serving, I said to myself, if I go in the Bible and start clapping at all of these kings that we used to do the most, I started thinking Solomon decided on wisdom, he got everything else. And then I started thinking, hey, if we utilize the money to get a good end result, because money is not the goal, our end result is living our true nature, which actually says if I'm living on purpose and I'm living my true nature, I'm going to get to what I was designed for in this world, and that is to be a creator, just as God is a creator. And if you start seeing that money could be used as a vehicle to get to your purpose, what would it look like in your life? Because I started seeing it playing out a lot differently for me when I started thinking, if money is a vehicle for me to get from here to there, and it's not an end goal, what actually is my end goal? And my end goal is serving people. Like, that has been the one thing. I've tried so many different vocations in life, but ultimately I always come back to the vocation where there's service involved. And I'm like, oh, darn it. Okay. And then I started realizing if I can create different avenues to help people, to be of service to people, even if I'm selling whatever I'm selling, can that thing help people win in their life to get to their next point? And that for me became my biggest lesson. And I realized that if I've got money as an end goal, I may just continuously lose it. But if I've got service and I've got people at the heart of what I do, a very, very different story, because I was able to seamlessly move my entrepreneurship life that happened outside of my house. I moved it online, but I actually hadn't realized that I already started doing that late last year. And because I kept on looking at what is my purpose? How am I serving people? Am I doing the right thing for me? Not for you, not for my children, not for my husband. Am I doing the right thing for me? Am I living on purpose? That's when I started seeing all those moving parts literally moved so well together. Here's a quick example, right? So I had an office where I would do my one-day training. I gave my landlord notice. I went back to my little head office. I call it my head office, which was in Vigilant. This is the ridiculous thing about life. I gave them notice on the 1st of March. Had I even known what was coming weeks later, And then what was more interesting, the people that kept on following me on what I did in property, they followed what I did, not what I said. They started asking me about property investing from outside of Gauteng. And you know what I did? I'd already started putting my one-day training online. And so at the beginning of the year, in fact, I started thinking, okay, my online footprint should look different. Why? What was I doing? I was looking into the different principles as an entrepreneur that could help me help somebody else by bringing education closer. So by the time COVID hit, I was already well into months, in fact, 1 year ahead of doing coaching online. I was 6 months ahead of doing my one-day training online. So when COVID hit, to switch that hat, but still being of service was my thing, right? You know, I love how before we used to trade a valuable item for a valuable item. And that trade today is called education, where we literally say, I'm going to teach you what I do and what I've learned so that you can create your own recipe. Now, I can talk about this for hours, but this is for me, the money lesson I wanted to bring to you today. And so if you are interested in understanding a lot more about your money lesson, there is a playlist that I've created. Will I see you over in this playlist so that you can start questioning, asking certain questions, and really delving down deep into who you are? Will I see you here? Yeah, right here.